What is up, hotties? Welcome back to another episode of Stay Hot. I'm Blaiden Kirk, and I'm joined as always by my two favorite co-hosts of all time, Matthew Sponhour and Theo Ash, and we are back reviewing prospects for the upcoming NFL draft. Today, we're taking a look at wide receivers, giving you our top five. We're each going to give you a top five, and then we'll combine them together into a consensus, and those will be the best receivers in this draft class, and if you disagree, you are wrong. But before we get into it, Matt, Theo, how are you guys doing this beautiful Sunday afternoon?
I've been doing well. I feel like I've been productive, healthy lately.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I was camping. I went fly fishing.
Nice.
I did not catch any trout, though, which was very unfortunate. They were rising. I had the topwater with the dropper on. Come on now. Caddis with the nymph dropper. What's wrong with these trout, bro? You got to hit that shit, man. You're rising right in front of me. I dropped the caddis on.
Saying it like they're like they're hitting a spot up three and they just brick.
I did. I'm dropping it right over their nose. I see it right in front of me. I see the fish. Guess I'm too loud or whatever.
Maybe you're breathing too.
I'm not the greatest caster. Maybe I scared him away. And I would like to know in the comments if anybody's better at fly fishing than me, which is probably a lot of people. If I see a fish rising, should I just be throwing that fly at the fish that's rising, or is it the fish you don't see? Maybe that's the one you catch. Like, should I be shotgun, scatter shot across the stream, my fly, or when I see a fish, should I just be going after it? Especially if it's not rising, if it's just sitting there in the stream, like, is it even worth casting it? Because I just cast at that fish over and over because I see it. But maybe I should have spread out a little bit more. But yeah, I was camping. I played soccer. Been watching March Madness and did a pod with Ben Pfeiffer about it over on the Patreon. That's been fire. I wish I changed. My bracket is busted. My bracket is very busted.
Yeah, so is mine. It's okay. Who'd you pick to win it all?
I had Gonzaga. I just made a little quick formula on the NCAA app, and it told me Gonzaga was the best team. So I was like, all right, we'll go for it. Should have remembered that they're in the fucking Rainbow Coast Rumpty Dumpty Doo conference, and that's why all their stats are so good. I did watch Texas beat AJ DeBonsa and BYU, and I knew right then and there that I was cooked because Texas and Swain or whatever, number 3, were like really good. And I was like, damn, I wish I picked Texas to go a little bit farther. I picked them to beat BYU, but I wish I picked them to go a little bit farther, and I definitely wish they weren't playing my national champion next, and then sure enough, they won and beat them. But look, I was at peace with it before the game. I watched Texas. I knew they were pretty good. Gonzaga lost. I was the dog staring off into the sunset with the chill expression. But yeah, no, my shit's cracked. I regret not picking Michigan because they got fucking Monstars everywhere.
Yeah, but they're the bad guys, so you can't pick them.
I have bad news about how this bracket might go for you.
Matt, who did you pick?
I picked Michigan.
Yeah, you're really? Good move.
Well, my bracket so far has been pretty mid, but I'm the only person in my home group to pick Michigan to win the national title, so I'm pretty much just holding out for that. But I'm not really holding out for it. It was an emotional hedge, obviously.
Sure.
But I think it's turned out to be a wise play. I also regret not picking Texas a little farther. I had him against BYU and almost had him against Gonzaga and then didn't go there.
So can I ask you guys, do you think it was the right play for me to pick Miami to win it all?
Yeah, man, they looked really good.
Well, I'm just saying in the sense
crushed
that, like,
Mizzou,
okay.
crushed Mizzou.
I obviously I went there, so like I have to pick them to win at least one game. But how far do I have to pick them to go? I felt like it was ethical for me to pick them to win the whole thing.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I mean, you don't care about if your bracket hits, and you're not. Are you watching the games?
But if Miami won the whole thing, I'd be like, guys, bro.
But you don't need to pick them to feel that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, even if you picked them to lose and they won the whole thing, like, you'd still be fired up about it.
Sure.
You wouldn't be fired up about your bracket. You'd be fired up for the university. So you might as well pick, a team that can win to win it all, because Miami's was never going to win it all. You or Ohio. So you just kind of ruined your bracket for maybe no reason is what I would. That would be my coaching on the sideline. I'm coaching you like the coach was coaching that in the women. Did you see the viral women's moment between the coach and her star player?
There's nothing wrong with that, by the like. Coaches yell. Yeah.
There were 2 moments like that from the women's tournament. There's that, and then there was the coach who said to his player, "You're the worst superstar I ever coached."
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, people are competitive. I think it's fine for coaches to yell at players, but like maybe do your players respond to yelling or not? Like, maybe not everyone does, but I just think like in sports in general, it's like it's heated, it's competitive. There's gonna be yelling. I don't. Yeah,
the moment. What team was it? Was it like Maryland? Some red team. But I didn't think it was that bad. Like, she got in her face and was kind of yelling, but I didn't like, as long as you don't like shake them or hit them or really say something mean or go on too crazy long. Yeah. It's like, I don't know what you're saying, so like I don't really have an opinion on it. Like, read language.
Matt, how's the new place?
It's all right. It's been kind of tough to move in, obviously, with all the sports stuff going on, and dishwasher had a bunch of mold in it, and the landlord's trying to stall and give me suggestions on how to fix it myself. No, absolutely zero chance I'll be fixing this myself. I went ahead and I did.
It's not your apartment; it's their apartment.
Right. When I got in, it was completely moldy. They said do a bleach run. I did that. I did it multiple times. Didn't fix the issue. If I clean it myself, then I take responsibility if I get sick off of mold poisoning from having this moldy dishwasher. And also, I would rather hand wash my dishes for 2 weeks off the principle of they have to give me an apartment that is clean. So I've been mad about that.
I think you're right to be mad about it.
I'm going to start calling them starting tomorrow at noon. I'm calling them every day.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's their dishwasher. It's not your dishwasher. It is famously not your dishwasher. It is their dishwasher. That is why you pay them for rent. When I'm in a useless competition and my opponent is the landlord.
Stay Hot is gonna buy up a bunch of apartments, and they're gonna be
we're gonna slumlord Yana. We're gonna
no, we're gonna be good landlords, guys. We're gonna be the good ones.
I actually like my landlord at my apartment.
I liked my last landlord. He was pretty honorable. Like, I was late on a payment and I just missed him like Venmoing the rent plus late. So I just Venmoed him the regular rent, and he just rescinded his request and never talked about it again. And he like gave us a good deal, and we were just month to month. Like, you don't have to be an evil landlord, but many landlords decide to be evil anyway.
Right. It's not every landlord is evil, but it's always a landlord that's evil, where it's like, it's not always, not everyone that drives a pickup truck, a giant pickup truck is like a bad driver. But anytime you see like those crazy videos of people driving, it's always
there's plenty of bad drivers that aren't in pickup trucks.
Right. There probably are. But anyway, should we talk about the receivers? Oh, actually, no. Before we talk about the receivers, I want to talk about, were you guys surprised to see Team USA put such belt to ass against the NFL players in flag football?
No.
Was I.
Football, contact football is like completely different than flag. Yeah. And contact football, you want to put on weight so you can run right through a guy, over a guy. Flag football, I mean, it was really interesting to watch them. Like, the technique of dropping your hips really low to make the flag wave around, it's like hard. All these little nuances. It's a different sport. It's a completely different way to advance the ball and way to maneuver through the defense. So, yeah, like Devontae Adams and Tom Brady aren't going to be as good as Team USA flag football off 2 days of prep, with a different body type, a different type of elusiveness. If they were to play regular football, they'd get run over, obviously.
Right.
But
I think
No,
that's
I
where
wasn't
people are
surprised.
missing. I
It
think
was
that's
cool,
where
though.
people are missing out on the take is like, it's like if these guys could play in the NFL, they would. It's like, yeah, but like they are, like you're saying, Theo, two very different sports. It's like even when you watch like the way they operate offenses, like the NFL players are operating offense. It's like, oh, straight drop back passing. And we're running like real passing concepts. And then the Team USA comes out and they throw like 3 screens in a row on the same play. You know, and it's like all of these flag football offenses, like the best teams that I play in flag football are all based on running.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you run as far outside as you can. You throw it back the other way. They run all the way across. They throw like there's so much running behind the line of scrimmage that happens before the ball even crosses, you know, even goes 1 yard forward. And that's kind of the main difference that you just don't see that in the NFL, but there's just so much more space to work with in flag football. That
And NFL football is probably closer to rugby than it is to flag football. Like,
I kind of think flag football is closer to rugby, dude. Like, there's just, I don't know. It's just like the pitching, even like there's so many plays where like you'll be running downfield. You'll pitch it backwards. He'll pitch it backwards. And there's just like, those are like last second plays in the NFL that you just don't really see like those are like an every down occurrence in flag football.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. It was cool. That, I mean, that one viral play where the guy slithers between Kuechly and D-Hop, and that's a sick play, man.
Is it like retired Kuechly and washed D-Hop? Sure.
Yeah,
it's
D-Hop
like
playing defense.
maybe there's a world where like
grabbing at a flag for a first time ever.
Right, exactly. And that it's like maybe there's a world where it's Lamar Jackson or Kyler or Jaden Daniels, like one of these quarterbacks that can act.
Daniels was there.
Was Daniels there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't.
I wasn't like watching.
I think he looked the best.
I just saw some of the highlights, and like I saw like Joe Burrow was out there, and I'm like, is Burrow really the guy that we want doing this? I don't know.
No, he's not. I mean, you know, he's not. You want Burrow was going all out too.
Right, and I'm just like, it's not like respect to Burrow, you know, like he's a competitor, and he made some like pretty good plays, I thought, but I'm just like Lamar would be the guy that I would want. And even Lamar, I'm like, he's put on weight since his rookie year, and I feel like he likes to utilize that stiff arm more, and you can't do that in flag football. So you gotta, I don't know. It's just a very different sport. You got to be conscious of that. So.
You might rather have all skill position players. Like you might
for sure.
Yeah, not even like quarterbacks. Just get like Jefferson. You would probably want.
Not even Jefferson.
Really? You would?
I mean, unless you can just like bypass the whole flag thing and just throw it to him and then zone, which I guess you can do. I mean, they scored to Odell that. Like
Odell.
Hey, it doesn't matter if he's non-elusive if he just catches it in the end zone. So maybe you want Jefferson for that.
What position? What players would you want?
I think maybe Zay.
Zay Flowers.
I might want Zay Flowers. I might want Saquon.
Gibbs.
I might want. It's a good question.
If you're building a flag football team of NFL players,
I'd call Kadarius Toney.
You'd call him.
I'd call him. Your country needs you, Kadarius.
Your country needs you.
Maybe I'd want like Mahomes.
Yeah, I think that's a fine call. Because I don't know. Maybe Kyler's not. I don't know. Maybe Kyler is the guy you want because he can kind of contort and he can run backwards. Or maybe Caleb. Caleb actually might be the guy you want.
Yeah, I'd want Caleb
at quarterback. Just based on like the plays he made towards the end of this past season.
Yeah,
Caleb's probably the guy you want at quarterback. But
maybe like, I guess we need defense too.
You do.
Maybe like Stingley.
Mm-hmm.
Is Stingley too physical?
I don't think of him as a physical guy as much as I think of him as
Ball skills.
ball skills. I'd want Travis Hunter. Holy cow, I'd want Travis Hunter.
Yeah,
Speaking of that,
absolutely.
Travis
Well,
might be my number one.
He's
pick,
actually a really good flag football player. So.
Yeah, I bet. But yeah, that I guess there's not many other people that you even need, but those would be my first picks.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm trying to think if there's any like maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Why him?
I don't know. I just feel like he is. I'm trying to think of guys who are just like good after the catch, but I wonder if he's not quite like elusive enough to kind of drop his hips like that.
I could see him being a good play. I mean, Ben Johnson featured him in like the hook and lateral plays, like catch it and toss it back.
That's what I was thinking. Like Gibbs, I feel like it has so much speed and explosiveness, but I don't know.
You'd want like prime sense. Kelsey as a tight end, definitely.
Oh yeah, you definitely would want prime Kelsey.
Yeah,
but not obviously you can't take him right now. That would not go well for you. So I don't know. I think that's an interesting question. We'd have to think about that more. But the point of this episode is to talk about the receivers in this upcoming draft class. Maybe you take Mekhi Lemon.
I would take Zachariah Branch, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that.
I might take him in flag before I took him in real football.
Well, there's a market for that now, so he definitely could. He definitely could. Maybe you take Omar Cooper.
Omar would be cool. Yeah, Omar would be good.
Yeah. So, but who do you guys have taking a look at this upcoming class as your wide receiver 1? I assume it's going to come down to Tate, Tyson, or Lemon. Who's it going to be here? Matt, who's your wide receiver 1?
I ended up going Lemon.
Let's go, dude. Makes me so happy.
Yeah, just his production this last year was phenomenal. I think that he's like I think we said earlier, a quarterback's best friend, right? He's just got a skill set that I think molds together really well. He's great playing the ball in the air. He's super physical. He's quick twitch off of the line. And he can go up and get it with the best of everybody. So I just feel like if I wanted somebody where I had maybe a younger quarterback who I wasn't confident in throwing over the middle of the field just yet, give him a guy like Lemon. And I think he's going to be able to go and make the most of every opportunity he gets. And then after the catch, he's also phenomenal. So he's just super well-rounded. I don't know if he's the type of guy who's going to run away from people. And obviously, like, he's not quite the same level of outside guy as Tate or Tyson. So it's very close. And on some level, it's a flavor thing. I mean, it came down to like 10 minutes before the recording, me figuring out exactly what I wanted my order to be.
Sure.
But I feel really confident in Lemon, so I'll go him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the production with him is really off the charts. Over 3 yards per route run in his career, which is just ridiculous. Like, Lance is there. Bryce Lance is over 3, I know, in this class as like a 22-mile-an-hour guy in the Montana West Missouri Valley Conference or whatever as a deep threat who just takes it 80 yards. He's over 3 yards per route run. And I haven't found anybody else. I mean, Tyson's at 2.71, which is an elite number. And then Tate is at, let's see, he's at 3.02? No, that was this year. Career?
3.02 this year.
Career is 2.27. So to be over 3 for your entire career, that's a long sample size now for Lemon. Ridiculous efficiency, really low drop rate, contested catch rate, almost 60%. He's crazy efficient. If you look at the numbers, I think Lemon kind of blows everybody else out of the water.
He's got a great vert, and he really can maximize that. So when people say he plays bigger than he actually is, especially on the contested catches, I really think that's a big part of it. He's phenomenal in that sense, and he's phenomenal in a lot of ways. I just think like it's going to be a little tough for people to buy in on a guy who is shorter and I don't think is crazy fast. Right? There's a number of plays where I don't think he can run away vertically. So it's like when you talk about a receiver, it's like, are you going to take that, top 8? I don't know, but I'm really, really high on him. I'm really high on all the top 3. I think actually, I should have asked you guys this before. How many first round grades did you end up having?
4.
I had 4.
Maybe 3. Maybe actually maybe 3, but probably 4.
I'm leaning. It depends on. I think I still have 6. I'm torn kind of how I feel about Boston and Cooper right now, because I think those guys are kind of in the flavor of things. And if you're not a fan of what they are, then you might not have a first round grade on them.
Sure.
And
I got something else to say. I do think with the receiver evaluation this year, we're trending a little bit too much towards like comparing them to the big stories of this last season. So Denzel Boston is Keon Coleman and Mekhi Lemon is JSN.
Yeah.
And that type of stuff. And it's like, I think I get it. I feel like we've all been there, but I think it's a little bit too much. I don't think Boston is a 1-to-1 with Coleman. I certainly don't think Mekhi Lemon is a 1-to-1 with JSN.
No.
And I just think the better take is that you can be super successful, like the best receiver in the NFL, successful at any size. Height is probably a little overvalued with receivers. So not that it isn't important, but a lot of first round busts are 6'3" and above guys who, bro, I swear it's cool that they don't separate that well. Bro, I swear it's going to be fine. They're going to be a red zone demon.
They play above the rim, bro.
People love Mike Evans, bro. Man. They're looking for Mike Evans 2.0.
And look, Mike Evans has been a great player for a long time. So like, I get it. Again, I don't want to be like height doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
But man, I feel like just off of pure gut, what I can remember off the top of my head, at least half the first round receivers that bust are in that exact mold, that exact archetype.
Well, and people, I think the biggest critique on Lemon has been like, oh, is he going to be able to line up outside? He's, to a lot of people, he feels like primarily a slot guy. And I just kind of want to debunk the whole, like I don't know how it's 2026, year of our Lord 2026, and we're still on this, like, can slot receivers be valuable in the NFL? Or this guy can't play outside, therefore he can't be a wide receiver 1 in the class or whatever. Like, A, that's not true, and B, Lemon can play outside. Matt, you mentioned his quick twitch off the line. His release is the best in this class by a mile. Like, oh my goodness, I would be like, you can't play press man going up against Mekhi Lemon. I think that is
over Tyson.
Yes.
Man, that's tough.
Tyson's
a demon too. I really think all the top 3 are great players.
Yeah, Tyson is a demon too. But like, I would never run press man coverage against Mekhi Lemon. Absolutely not. I don't know if I could trust anyone to deal with the efficiency and the quick hands and the extension that he's willing to give you at the line of scrimmage. Like, he's willing to do, like, he's got so many tricks in his bag to get separation immediately. I just would be not, I would never run press man against him. So I'd be perfectly fine having him on the outside. But then even if you're like, well, he's just a slot guy, dude, have you been paying attention? Like, Cooper Kupp was the Triple Crown winner. Justin Jefferson can line up in the slot a lot, and he's, one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in the NFL. JSN just had an outstanding season with a lot of production from the slot as well. Like, this is the trend, right? Especially now we're seeing a lot of teams bringing in more nickel players, right? Nickel corners and these slot safeties to cover these guys, because that has been such a problem dealing with these electric players from the slot.
I agree. I mean, there's just a lot more capital going towards these guys, and you've seen a lot more success going towards these guys. And there's also sometimes in receiver rooms in college, like, if they're built a certain way, they need good players in the slot.
Yep.
And they can exist outside more. Now, Lemon was in the slot like a pretty heavy amount, I think almost 2/3 of the time, but Justin Jefferson's a good shout. Egbuka was pretty heavy in the slot. and he ended up being good. JSN's another good shout. So what you did in college isn't necessarily what you're limited to in the NFL when it comes to alignment for receivers.
And Lemon's numbers outside are really good. Like, I think people see a 5'11" guy who lines primarily up in the slot and thinks, oh, there's a slot receiver. And I will say, like, certain types of slot receivers are no longer in vogue. Like Wes Welker, no longer in vogue. These Pukas and these Amon-Ra's, they're almost, attached to the line of scrimmage, like block and release, like motion them through the A gap and get up. Like, there needs to be a little bit of toughness about you if you want to live in the slot these days, I think, instead of just shiftiness about you.
Yeah.
But I think Lemon can survive on the outside and be fine. Like, he's very sudden. I think he can get separation vertically, great in contested catch situations, great with late hands. I don't feel the same way as I felt about JSN, who I thought was like just a different kind of fluid.
He's just not the level. He's not the level of route runner. He's not as deceptive as JSN was. JSN was another level with
But I feel the same way about JSN, who played in the slot primarily at OSU. And it's like, why can't he go out wide? Like, why is that completely off the table for him? I feel that same way about Lemon, where it's like, look, I get that he lined up there in college, but there's no reason why he can't go up against Keyshawn Nixon and get separation on the outside. Like,
you went in a different direction than I did. Yeah.
There are outside corners that he can stack and that he can get vertical on. I think versus zone, he's unbelievable. He has a catch against Illinois against cover 3 where it feels like the quarterback just says fuck it and throws it into the seam, and like it's like Lemon has magnets in his brain and in his hands and just like gets to the open space so easily. It feels like you could always target him. I swear I see him kind of tap, like it'll be running in zone and there'll be a linebacker and he'll almost like make contact with the linebacker and then go around the other side, like the old tap you on the opposite shoulder trick, and then they turn. Like he's got a lot of nuances to get open versus zone, a lot of suddenness and hand movement to get open versus man. I do think he's not quite the yak threat. He's good yak, but he's not great yak, I'd say. He was targeted in the flat a lot, and there he kind of got tackled. I don't think he's someone that you can throw the ball to like behind the line of scrimmage and have him take it the distance. But he catches it on the run. He's tough. He's tough, and he's shifty. He just not
21 tackles.
Yeah. He's not, I don't know if he's the best yak guy that we're going to talk about today. I can agree with that, but like, I think he's significantly better than Tyson and Tate after the catch.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Especially Tate, I think. But
yeah,
he's not quite, the Steve Smith type of yak or a Tyreek type of yak. He's not as bulky as some other great smaller receivers, I think. So he can get brought down. And I also think with him, he can go off script a little bit. Like sometimes you see him on a screen, like not follow his blockers at all and go out some random direction. Versus Michigan, there's a really egregious example where like blockers are all out in front of him. There's like this really clear lane and he goes the complete other direction. And if I was his offensive lineman, I'd be like, bro, we're people, that, right? Like
we're people.
This isn't flag. There's linemen out here trying to help you. That play made me think Lemon doesn't quite understand that. And then sometimes I think he can add maybe one too many moves to his route. The quarterback might not totally be sure where he's going. There were just a couple times where I thought as a team construct player, he didn't quite understand what was maybe going on, but from an individual talent standpoint and from an understanding coverages and how to get open standpoint, I think he's got a really high IQ. So, or a high skill level.
The only concern that I had with Lemon outside of like the yak stuff that you're mentioning, Theo, is there's a couple of moments against off coverage where I feel like he gets too impatient. And if someone's not letting him close space, he will rush his route. So that's the one thing that I would flag. I noticed it a couple of times, and Theo and I did a breakdown of him on the Patreon where I pointed that out as well. So
Yeah, we got some
I'll
film.
probably do a breakdown on TikTok at some point and point that out too. But
he's also really not a crazy tester. Like, he's not, for what that's worth. But frankly, none of the top 3 guys are. I like all of them, but none of them.
A lot of guys.
Like,
I mean, there's a lot of guys that didn't test well, or like Boston didn't run the 40 at his pro day.
Okay, I'm taking that a certain way then.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
You run a 4.7, maybe. Yeah.
Well, who'd you have at 1, Theo?
So on tape, it's Tyson. On tape, it's Tyson for me.
I mean, him getting in and out of his breaks, like the amount of degrees that he can cut off of going 100% on 1 foot is insane. This is going to sound like a negative, but it looks like an Instagram or a TikTok, like, practice video, drill video come to life in the best way possible. I can get down with that. I did ding him for the injury stuff, though.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think you have to. But he's the one that reminds me a little bit more of like JSN type movement skills, I'd say, or a Devonta Adam type movement skills where I've
seen people give him Garrett Wilson movement skills where he's
it's crazy. He has a touchdown versus Baylor, and it's clutch time. It's like 14-16 or something like that in the 4th quarter. And he sets up the safety inside and breaks out. The break is fantastic. And then the ball is high out of the break. He's wide open. The ball is high. His vertical, like his leap, the curve it is like out of this world good. He gets up there. He almost double jumps. It looks like pause it at the top of his ladder. It doesn't even look real. Full extension, beautiful catch, makes it look way, way easier than it is. And I just don't think anybody else has that kind of, like, I wish he tested, because I think it could be absolutely ridiculous at his size. He's not a small guy. Agility is just off the charts. Vertical is just off the charts. He just moves different to me.
His first step off the line is just totally unguardable when you watch him against a team like Baylor. They don't have anything for him.
Yeah, and Sam Levitt isn't somebody who plays with a lot of timing.
Wow.
Yeah, he's kind of just freelancing out there, and it's like Tyson could be just. I mean, if you gave him a quarterback,
he could be like a true outside number 1 All-Pro winner.
Devontae Adams, Jefferson, JSN. Like I really do think he has that kind of ceiling. His hands aren't probably ridiculous. He's definitely not. There's a couple close ones where it's like, I think you did a good job kind of approaching this ball and pointing this ball, but it's like, oh, he didn't come down with it. And like, you think that a couple of times.
I think sometimes at the catch point, it's tough because I don't want to say any of this on like Twitter, because then you just get quote tweeted with like his top highlight catches, which are
unbelievable. Yeah,
right.
Odell Beckham.
But like, okay, the Baylor game you brought up, for example, I think PFF only had him charted as 1 drop, but I thought he had 2 drops in that game. They had him charted for 1 drop the whole year, and like a handful more the year before. But like, I thought he had multiple drops. There was one that was obvious, and there was another one that was kind of behind him. And then there was another time where I think on a slant, it was a little low, and he goes to the ground when he really, really didn't need to, I thought. And I wondered, is there maybe just a little bit of like overly, when I'm playing scared on Madden, I'm always holding A, let's just go down. But preferably you would like a guy to, be able to catch that and transition and stay up. But it's like,
sure,
you can go down to get that, but truly great hands allow you to stay up. So I had some questions about that too. But then he also had like a screen that he jumped up for and caught one-handed in that game. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't.
Yeah, I mean, his top end catches. He has one, I think it was 2024, the end of the year in some game. I was watching live. Maybe it was the playoff game versus. No, he was hurt for the playoff game versus Texas, as per usual, I guess, with him. But he had some like underthrown fade, and he like drops to the ground and like extends horizontally and scoops it up off the turf with one hand. It's unbelievable. Obviously, the catch I described versus Baylor is unbelievable. He can do anything on the football field. I completely believe it. It's just, you know that, and then you watch him like have some of these almost chances and you drop, and it's like, man, you could be so special. Versus Texas Tech, ASU handed them their only loss of the year, and it was only because Tyson went off. They could not guard him at all, even though he kept going in and out of the game with a hamstring injury. He'd come in, they just could not hem him in zone. They could not run with him, and man, it's just, he's open every single play. But on a couple of plays, he's just, climbing the ladder, and the DB's kind of raking through his hands, and it's an understandable incompletion. Like, man, that would have been a tough catch, but you just like to see him maybe make a couple more tough catches through contact. Although also in that game, there was a throw behind him that he reaches for. He doesn't quite get it. It pops up in the air. He like readjusts and finds it while crossing the middle after it pops up in the air, catches it, gets blasted, and comes down with it. And you're like, wow, that is completely spectacular. Tracking this thing through a bobble over the middle, eating the hit. So I would say you don't want to say like, oh, his hands are rough, because someone definitely could hit you with a minute cut up of him making unbelievable catches. But he just didn't have the consistency that like Lemon did. And his contested catch rate last year was just 43.8% according to PFF, 52.4% for his career. A lot better in
52 is pretty good. 52, anything over 50 is strong. So
and maybe it was the injuries that were maybe sapping him a little.
It's hard to know. The injuries really do scare me. I watched some videos on how like the knee could be a long-term degenerative problem, and obviously like the hamstring, it's like it's still nagging you, man. That really worries me. So it moves him down my board, because I feel like I'm more of the dinging guys for injury type going. At least that's what I've planted my flag on this offseason, and I think that's how I'm going to be going forward, because you can't make fun of the 49ers for thinking that electrical fields are affecting their plan. And I think not at least put a little bit of it into your draft stack. But again, it's super close, and it's just the biggest red flag that any of the top three prospects have to me. By far, it's not even close. Yeah. That worries me more than Carnell Tate after the catch, which again, I think just turns into more of a flavor thing and just a type of guy. Obviously it's like a limitation if you're not crazy after the catch, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, Tyson is a video game character. I mean, he really, like, if the injury stuff ends up being a non-issue, like, we're talking best receiver in the NFL potential. Really, truly.
Yeah, I think he's elite. I think he's got the same stuff that, there's a time.
He's really deceptive too. It's not just movement. He can really get like his whole body, to fake guys out and to cut off a 1 foot and still bring himself back. It's got me running routes in my new apartment being like, I couldn't have ever made it.
Well, we're 25 years old. We need to run the Jordan Tyson routes while we're still on our parents' insurance.
Be careful. You might tear your
right, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of that joke while I was doing it. I'm like, well, we can't have two dudes with blown out knees. At least you made a play, man. I can't say I blew out my knee. I got too hype up for Jordan Tyson tape.
Blaiden, who's your one? Did you have Lemon?
My one has been Lemon for a while now, and I haven't changed on that stance. The question that I'm trying to ask myself is, if I wasn't concerned about Tyson's injuries, would I still have Lemon wide receiver 1? I
would have Tyson 1, I think, honestly.
I think I would too, but like you said, the well-roundedness of Lemon is just so enticing. Like, I really do feel like he's going to be so easy to slot into an offense in a way.
I think all these guys are going to be easy to slot into an offense. I think all of them are well-rounded, truly. I don't think any of them have, like, major glaring weaknesses in terms of, like, how are we going to get this guy to be effective on day one, at least.
Yeah, I just think you could ask Lemon to do anything except for maybe block.
And I think think Tyson's a good blocker too.
Yeah. That
really
is
tries when
Lemon's
he's
one knock. I don't think he's like a particularly plus blocker. So,
yeah.
But Theo, who's your number 2?
My number 2 would be Lemon. Those
Okay.
two are in a tier. Those are my top tier guys, and then there's a break.
Ooh, so you're a little bit lower on Carnell Tate then.
I'm a little bit lower. In fact, he is not my number 3.
Oh,
That
dude,
is crazy.
that is insane.
He is not my number
Matt,
3.
is Tate your 2?
Yeah, Tate is my 2.
Let's talk
I mean, okay, look, I'm assuming it's Cooper as your.
No, it's not Cooper.
Who
Is
is
it Concepcion?
It's not Concepcion.
Theo, what the
Is it Bryce Lance? Because he
It's
had.
not Bryce Lance. It's not fucking
is
Bryce
it-
Lance.
Bernard? Is it Malachi Field?
No.
What the fuck are you on, dude? What?
It's Boston. It's Denzel Boston is my number 3.
I was okay. For the record, I was going through guys I knew Theo was high on, not who I thought was next in
Yeah, no,
line
that's
on
what-
my personal list.
I thought, Theo, I don't know why I thought you were going to be low on Boston. I really did.
No, I like Boston a lot. I like
You
Boston
guys,
a
yeah,
lot.
you guys like the big receivers.
I like Boston not more than Theo, apparently.
Nah, Boston's sick. Boston, let's see what his numbers are at. So,
Look, Theo, I'll tell you this because I was comparing Boston and Tate's numbers earlier, and I'm like, Tate is a more efficient, like vertical deep threat,
for sure.
but it's on like 30% less, or it's on 30 fewer targets, which it's like 60 versus 90. You know, so I'm willing to give you that maybe Boston has more juice than we're giving him credit for statistically. But also, I just think Tate is better at the Tyson thing. Like Tate to me is maybe AJ Green reincarnated, you know? And I don't quite know if Boston is that.
I think maybe Jeremiah Smith is AJ Green reincarnated. I don't know about Tate with that. Where do you think Tate ranks amongst OSU receivers?
It's almost impossible to say. I was thinking about this. Truly,
Tate
honestly,
or
they have
Olave?
this last year. The thing is, that's not fair because Olave was awesome for a long time at Ohio State.
He was.
Tate was like didn't really turn into like this type of dude until his last season, but this last year Tate was better than I think Olave ever was. And also he missed a little bit of time. He was banged up. And he was on this slow play. We're going to make sure that Jeremiah Smith doesn't win the Biletnikoff. Let's put in 15 tight ends offense.
Fuck that offense, bro.
Julian saying
I do like Tate. I do think Tate is right there with Boston. I just didn't watch Tate and think his game quite rose to the level of the top 2, and I didn't think he was like beyond compare with the rest of the class. But I do like him. I mean, he is great off the line of scrimmage, great releases, long strider, tons of production vertically over the top. Really great tracking the ball, right? Is Tate. Tons of great catches in crowds for sure. But I also think Boston has a lot of those things.
I don't think Boston is the level of route salesman and technician that Tate is, especially on these deep routes. Tate is this long strider who also does a great job like really selling something with every step when he gets on
Yeah, he does.
to a defensive back's heels. Like he's able to sell one way and then with the next step sell the other and break off and get himself open. And then like he's really, really strong, like you said, as a ball tracker. His contested catch percentage was crazy this year, wasn't it? I mean, it was something, it might have been like 70%. Oh, sample size for that, of course. I don't know if that'll hold up. But
For Boston?
I thought for
for both of them.
For both of them?
Really
Because I know that Boston is at 76%.
Boston's like 13 contested targets, 10 catches. And then I think Tate is 14 and 12 or 14 and 11 and something like.
Yeah.
They're both really
I've heard
crazy.
enough.
Yeah.
That's the same. That's like the same.
Yeah, no, they're neck and neck there. They're neck and neck in average depth of target. It's just the Tate has 3 yards per route run this year in Boston.
Sure, and it's like I understand with the Jeremiah Smith stuff. I'm a little frustrated because like, you know, Jeremiah Smith, like I heard for a lot of the season, like, Carnell Tate's better than Jeremiah Smith.
That's
I don't know if you guys remember this. It's not. People, the Jeremiah Smith, like Marvin Harrison is really screwing everything up right now, quite frankly. Because now people are bold enough to be like, Jeremiah is not really like that. It's like, dude, he came in and took over the OSU receiver room as a true freshman and then called game in the national title.
Right.
He is like that.
He is a little bit too happy to run out of bounds sometimes. Mr. Smith, like I'm like, why are you running? He's literally running down the sideline stripe. But he's like,
for the record, Jeremiah Smith led all of Power 4 receivers and yards per route run this year.
He's better. I mean, I don't care how he could be running to get a hot dog from the stands in the middle of a route a couple times a game, like.
And I'm still blaming Sam.
That might knock him down on my board. If he runs mid play to go get a hot dog,
if he could be running to the bratwurst station in Lambeau, I don't care, because he catches a slant and then you see him run through the defense and you're like, yeah, he's better than Carnell Tate. Like no one else has got this kind of speed and size, but Tate is quite good. I just think Boston is super physical, like huge, great at the catch point. I really liked the way that he ran routes, honestly, and created separation. And I think it was in line with Tate, but I just think he's a little bigger and maybe smoother in certain ways. I really do think Tate is technically sound and knows how to set guys up, but he doesn't quite have the Tyson leave your cylinder, really extend outside yourself to set something up to go the other way. Like I do think there's some athletic limitations with Tate with some of his moves. It's not that they don't work or that they're not the right thing to be doing. It just it doesn't look as good as some of the wide receivers in the past, the movement skills, the body control. Maybe not even the body control, because he is so good in contested situations and he has some catch up the pipe against.
And like athletic limitations, Denzel Boston not running the 40.
Boston is not a great mover. I can see some of the smoothness stuff, but I think, like, honestly, it really depends.
I thought he got separation over the top.
His
you can get separation
off the line. Boston is mid beans, bro.
He'll chisel it out vertically though, bro. He will throw it to him. Run the post against cover 2. Throw it to him. He'll box out 2 safeties. High point the ball.
I don't even dislike Boston like that. I thought, like, because I heard so much like he's Keon Coleman talk.
People hate Boston right now, bro. Boston's good.
That's the thing. And like, honestly, like I was getting myself hype to board that train because this is the exact type of receiver I love to hate on. But I'm like, nah, he's not Keon Coleman. I think he's more like a mid-second round guy is where I put him. But you can totally see like the power in the hands. He does a good job high pointing the ball. And as a mover, I think there's a way to make it work with his. I agree. There's some smoothness in his breaks that I think overcome being a little bit higher cut, even though he's not as sharp as some of these other guys.
No, definitely not. I really liked Boston. I gave him that.
Where would you say Boston compares to, say, Rome Odunze?
I think it's somewhat close. I loved Rome though. I
loved Rome too.
I feel like I see the same physicality at the break point and smoothness and just ridiculous success rate and strength in the hands in contested situations. Like, I don't think they're that far off. I had like a top 10 grade on Rome. I thought he should have gone.
So did I.
Before Neighbors, which ended up not being the right take.
I would be victory lapping that so hard if we hadn't all had monitors in junior at once. So
fair. But yeah, I like Boston for a lot of the same reasons I liked Rome, and I'm not convinced that a Rome breakout isn't still coming. Is the other thing?
Yeah,
I'm with you there. I think the thing where Rome was better than Boston is, and Matt already mentioned this, like at the line of scrimmage, his releases off the ball, I'm not a fan of. We talk about, the way that Lemon's able to really, he's able to be explosive and attack immediately, but he's also able to be patient when he needs to and kind of let things develop. Like Boston's really just kind of like, I'm just going to get off the ball and run. And I just don't know if that's going to work at the NFL. Like he's a big guy, so maybe it will, but it really feels like I'm just bigger and stronger than you. And there's nothing you can do to stop me from just bullying you off the line a little bit. And then I don't think his routes are as good as Rome's were. Rome, I think, was a much better route runner. So I do think Boston could be kind of a one-trick pony, but I think his trick is really good. So like I still think I'm debating whether or not I'll have him at 5 or Cooper. I'll figure it out by the end of the episode here. But I like Boston. Sure.
So Theo, your top 3 is Tyson, Lemon. Denzel, Boston, Lemon, or no, it's Tyson. Lemon,
it's
Boston.
Tyson and Lemon in tier 1, and then I'll put Boston and Tate and Cooper, I think, as well in like a tier 2.
Yep. Sure. Okay. That's what I was wondering, because Theo, you said you were debating Cooper. I have Cooper at 4.
Yeah, Cooper's great too.
I think he's super, super plug and play. He's somebody who's consistently grown over the last 4 years, but he's like a super smooth mover. I feel like his timing is really good. He was open more often than he got the ball, I thought, at Indiana, because they love to take those shots down the sideline. And I do think there's going to be some limits to like his overall production in an offense that, has a certain mold for their outside guys like that, who Cooper doesn't really quite 100% fit. But he's an archetype who I think is really easy to project. Like when I watched him going into it, I knew he was going to be the type of guy you want to get the ball to. But I didn't know that he was going to be the type of guy that is like easy to get the ball to. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of positive traits in his short area quickness. He's quick off the line. Mm-hmm. He's got good hands. His body control, obviously, is really good. The touchdown against Penn State was pretty good.
It was all right. He did only get 1 foot down there.
Sure.
Wish he was a little taller.
JSN only got 1 foot down in his viral catch.
Sure, he only got 1 foot down, but I don't know. I still think it's a pretty good show, a pretty good display of being able to bend back around. You disagree?
I don't know what catch this is.
It's
Is this the Utah Rose Bowl catch?
No, this is Penn. Or you're thinking
I'm thinking
JSN one.
JSN's. I don't know which one you're referring to.
JSN.
You should be able to close your eyes and see it.
I don't see anything.
What game was this against, Matt?
Obviously, I know
Nebraska. I honestly forget off the top of my head. I can just see his body like that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this was like this was a mega viral JSN catch.
I know he had a crazy one versus Michigan, but I thought it was more like a one-handed over the top of somebody.
No,
catch.
he like it's in like it's in like the back of the end zone. He reaches up to snag this ball that's like way out of his frame, and it looks like it's gonna carry him out of bounds, and then he like magically brings a foot back into toe tap.
Okay, it's versus Nebraska. I'm watching this.
Okay, it's one of the greatest catches. You'll.
Oh, this is Justin Fields' era.
Was that Fields? That's crazy.
We don't live in the same world we grew up in.
We don't, dude. Yeah. He only gets 1 foot in, but it's a nasty catch.
That JSN one is similar to the Omar Cooper one.
There you go.
It really is.
So, Omar Cooper? Next JSN.
Look, Cooper is a beast, though. Again, I think he gets himself open easily. I think he tracks the ball well. He's got good hands, and he's phenomenal after the catch in a very practical way. He's great at those little adjustments that make a defensive back's angle wrong and then can take it to the house from there. And he also has the ability to like really break tackles. So I watched him. I'm like, yeah, I see enough here for me to get excited. I would take him. I don't know if I would take him quite as high as some of these other guys, but I saw a mock draft the other day that had the Panthers taking him at 19. I'd be happy with that. I'd have no issue.
Yeah, he has the most broken tackles of anyone in this class at 27.
Yep.
And you've already mentioned this. He attacks the football at the first available window. Like his hands really are really nice. The only thing I have a concern about with Cooper, I'm a little bit worried about maybe the variety of routes that he has success on. I feel like there is definitely a lot of screens. According to, who was it? I think it was the Fantasy Footballers. They said he had 28% of his routes were on screens. That is a really high number. And so I am a little bit worried about that, but he does produce well on those plays. So I'm not too like knocked down on it. He'll probably end up being my 5 because I do like the physical tools there. But I feel like there is a lot of projection for what he could be in the NFL just based on like it took kind of some it took some circumstances for him to turn into this. Or like for him to even like get this role open to him, because it took like an injury to what was it? Was it Surratt that got hurt, or was
not
it
this year? He had almost 1,000 yards this year. That wasn't an injury.
But it was like I was reading.
You're thinking? Are you thinking of like? Because Decker came in halfway through the year, right? Like he didn't play a full season.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I was reading something about how like he wasn't like the number 1 option like immediately, but no, I mean I like a lot of his skill set. I'm just worried about the maybe lack of route variety. But how much of that is scheme? How much of that is what Mendoza wants to be throwing? How much of that?
Well, they took so many of those fade balls. That's not Cooper's game at all. Like he doesn't get a slice of that pie.
Right.
But he plays hungry because of it. And
yeah, dude,
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I like.
No, I'm with you. I think that he can hit the brakes. He can make you miss. He fakes like he's running into you with power and then goes around you. Ridiculous catches, one-handed grabs, moonwalking steps in the middle of the route to set you up. There's a lot that Cooper does well. But to Blaiden's point, he only had 5 targets last year. From the outside more than 10 yards down the field. So like he isn't that vertical field stretcher on the sideline, although maybe he could be, but Surratt is really good at that and Becker is really good at that. And I mean, I don't know who the wide receiver coach is for Indiana, but everybody's really good at everything. Like number 7,
right.
Caddy's cut-ups accidentally put Surratt at an arrow pointing to number 7. I thought I was watching Surratt and it was someone else, and I didn't realize until like a quarter of the way through the game. Yeah, but he was like good. I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty good tape. I'm like, oh, that's not even Becker. That's not even Cooper. That's some 4th guy.
Yeah, I think Becker's probably the best of the bunch. I like Becker.
Becker's really, really
he was insane.
Cool.
Yeah, Becker's.
I like Surratt too. I think he's gotten a little bit underrated. Honestly, is kind of a trump card. Like
I'm not
throw the fade.
I don't know if he's underrated. I mean, the consensus big board.
The thing is that he was getting like first round shouts by the time that Indiana won the national title. Not super strongly. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know where he ranked on the consensus.
He was above Cooper for a long time. I remember the first time I turned on the tape for Indiana, it's like I knew about Surratt and I didn't know about number 3, which obviously is Omar Cooper now.
No, Theo, you're right.
Is,
in January 17th, his consensus big board placement was 41. Now he's all the way down to 72.
Yes.
So he has fallen.
I think he's somebody who I like his releases off the line of scrimmage. He's really successful in contested catch situations. Is kind of he is a little bit rounded in his breaks and doesn't have a ton of fluidity, I'd say. But as a field stretcher and a contested catch artist, like he's really, really strong, I think.
I'm a
versus
little
press, he's
like,
really strong.
I don't want to point to the numbers because he's got good plays, but like he really wasn't even that good in contested catch scenarios this year. And the argument for him is like almost entirely that. I just think he's a little bit too one trick pony. And I think in terms of like outside deep threats, a lot of it is like, it's not even like his long speed is also really good or something like that. And he can really run away from you. So I don't know. I'm a little bit lower on him. I'm not totally out, but I mean, as a borderline round one guy, I thought that was the fact that like on Twitter now, I feel like everything you see about him for a while has been kind of like, I don't know. I get why.
Sure.
He's just been consistent. Like over his contested catch rate, I guess it was 40%, which is just okay. And it was a lot of contested catch opportunities, 30 of them, which is too many. But over the course of his career, he's at 57.4. It's been 61%, 78%, 59%.
61 because I'm looking at the same stat.
Yeah.
Shout out to St. Francis, bro.
Where is that? I do not know.
Francis.
He's been at 2.06 yards a route run, 2.92, 2.76, 2.39. Like over the course of his career, just has always produced.
He's been better than that, but also some of those numbers were against weaker comp.
44 touchdowns in 4 years.
He's a big touchdown catcher, which is great.
We love touchdowns out here on Stay Hot. Low drop rate. Like he's just been there isn't like a really notable drop in his statistics when he went from St. Francis and James Madison to Indiana. And I think he can keep. I think Unk might still got it in the NFL. I like Elijah Surratt. He is one-dimensional. He is someone you see him run some of these digs, and it's like, yeah, that's not going to be his game in the NFL. But play above the rim, red zone threat, the type of guy that Matt said busts in the first round all the time. Look, if you're getting him in round 3, sign me up, man. I absolutely sign me up. If he's 72 totally on the consensus big board and you're getting him early 3rd round, like I'm all the way there. I prefer him over Zachariah Branch. I really do. I might prefer him over Concepcion.
I disagree. Concepcion's my 4, but we'll get to that in a minute because first I have to talk about our good friends over at Fabletics. Did you guys see that Jamar Chase is officially Fabletics' first NFL ambassador? He just dropped his first collection, effortless tees, oversized hoodies, all the clean essentials you can lift in or just throw on for a chill day. It's exactly what you'd expect from a wide receiver one. Simple, sharp, and built to perform. And look, I've got to say, the quality might surprise you. Fabletics pieces, they're the kind of high-end activewear you'd easily pay a couple $100 for, but you're getting that same premium fit and durability for a fraction of the price. And the fit, it's dialed in, man. I mean, joggers that actually keep their shape, jackets that keep you warm without being bulky, everything soft, breathable, flexible. You're looking at the site right now, dude. They've got this oversized hoodie that's so clean, right? They've got the neutral colors, minimal design. Looks like something you, again, wear to a workout or out and about, so make sure you're going to cop one of those because they're absolutely fire. Plus, Fabletics has over 2 million VIP members and more than 100 retail stores. So it's not just some random online brand. People genuinely trust it. Fabletics already has incredible deals, but here at Stay Hot, we've got an exclusive one just for you. You can get 80% off everything when you sign up as a VIP, including Jamar's first drop. Just head to fabletics.com/stayhot. Take the quick style quiz and be sure to select Stay Hot when prompted to unlock your 80% off. Again, that's fabletics.com/stayhot. And while we're on the topic of our friends here at Stay Hot, I might as well tell you about our other friends over at Quint because, while we're trying to talk about our wardrobes, let's keep them simple. Just solid pieces that actually work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, and everyday staples that are easy to wear year round. Quince has a ton of essentials I like, things like organic cotton sweaters, polos you can wear anytime, and lighter jackets for when the weather changes. It's just reliable stuff that looks good without overthinking it. And what's great is they work directly with top factories and cut out the middleman, so you're getting quality clothing without paying big brand markups. And everything's built to last and still look good season after season. Honestly, the stuff that you can get there's a lot nicer than a lot of clothes you can buy that cost way more. Comfortable, looks good, really worth the price there. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/stayhot for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada as well. That is QUINCE.com/stay hot. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/stay hot. Theo, do you want to tell us about our good friends over at Advocare and their new Spark Energy?
Yes, I do. Well, I got the same shipment as you, Blaiden, but you don't drink it up. Your girlfriend does, so maybe I'm better at delivering this. But I recently got this wristband too. This isn't about Spark, but I got this wristband and it buzzes and it's an alarm clock. So there's a bedside table and it's only on one side of our bed, and that's Cammie's side. And so, like, if I want to wake up at a different time than her, I never had a solution. But I got this wristband, and now I wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, and I get some work done. I extend my work day. Yeah, I'm living whole lives before the world is up. Dude, now that I got this wristband.
I got a ton of questions.
Sure. Yeah.
I got my day up in the segment.
Exactly.
First off, 4:30 a.m. is nuts. Second off, our goat can't get his own bedside table. We can't do the double.
Well, the way the bed is positioned, I have a bedside table. It's just a tall ass dresser, and I don't want. And the outlet access is a little bad, so it's not
and the alarm clock. It's one of those bell ones. It goes back and forth. It falls on your head. You have a big bump on your head.
Exactly. I was sick of that. Plus, if I'm gonna be getting up early and getting some work done, I don't want to wake her up. So I need the buzz of the wrist.
But then you wake up so early. Obviously, you need this great Spark Energy drink.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. Where like I need something because I'm getting up early. I just go to the kitchen. The whole world is asleep. She's asleep. And I just mix myself a little Spark Energy drink. And yeah, I just grind it out. I was up early. I watched some wide receivers early in the morning. And that's how I was able to go to soccer practice later. And yeah, I'm up before the coffee shops. I'm up before everyone, man. So that's why Spark has been clutch. Honestly, it honestly has been clutch. I'm energized. I'm focused. Obviously, I'm giving great analysis here, so I'm living proof that that it works.
Like... All right, you're a little low on a Buckeye receiver, but that's not Spark's fault.
I'm also fit. It's got zero sugar. I'm not jittery. I don't got any anxiety.
Nice.
I scored 100 goals. It's okay. I didn't score any goals. So Spark is not a PED.
You haven't fidgeted one time this episode.
I haven't fidgeted. Look at me. That's because I got steady, controlled pre-workout energy with 0 grams of sugar, 120 grams of caffeine, amino acids, taurine. We got, I don't even know how to pronounce what we got in here. Choline, which supports performance, mental focus, and clarity. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I got all those 3 things. It's got B vitamins. We got B6, B12, which supports energy metabolism. It's got vitamin C, A, and E, which helps immune health and everyday wellness. It's a trusted brand that has delivered real energy for 32 years. It's trusted by millions with thousands of 5-star reviews. Look that up. Bold, great tasting flavors you'll look forward to drinking. So all this to say, Spark Energy plus Focus is offering 30% off and free shipping. Go to drinkspark.com and use code STAYHOT, all one word, at checkout. That's code STAYHOT, STAYHOT, at drinkspark.com.
But Casey Concepcion is my wide receiver 4, dude. And you don't like him at all.
I just feel like we've seen this guy before with like Jahan Dotson and like Elijah Moore and KJ Hamler.
Oh, dude, he's better. I swear. I swear. Look, there's I think one key. I see what you're talking about, but I do think like what we talked about with Cooper, attacking the football at the first available window is something that Concepcion does really well, that I really like. You know, the ability to attack outside of your frame and make these kind of circus catches is something that a lot of receivers at his size just don't have. Right. And so that's the one thing that I do think separates him from being this kind of maybe underwhelming in kind of, I could see him being underwhelming in a lot of ways, but I do think he's bursty. I do think he's got some pretty nice releases. I could see him playing outside or inside. I think it's against LSU. He's kind of lined up in a tight stack and has a quick release against press, quickly stacks the defender, should get the ball up the seam. But quarterback sees the safety rotate, and so he doesn't want to test it. But Concepcion has the guy that was guarding him in man and the safety both burnt. Like, he really does have, I think, enough speed and burst to kind of leave people in the dust. And I think he's got some of the best circus catchability in this class. So I am excited about him. I think he's in a tier below. Like, to me, Lemon, Tyson, Tate are in tier 1, and then Concepcion, and then it's probably Cooper and Boston after him.
Yeah, maybe I'm grouping him in with too many guys that I've seen before, much like Keon Coleman and Denzel Boston and things like that. I can see it, but I don't know. I didn't see insane releases consistently with him. I thought he was someone they tried to scheme free releases and get to choice routes, and I wasn't super.
He's another guy I have concerns with, like, route variety for sure.
Mm-hmm. I do think he's fast. I think he gets open downfield. You don't see a ton of guys catch him super easily. So I think he's fast. He didn't test at all. I would love to see a 40 time from him. I would love to see.
Sure, but I think his on-field stuff
speaks for. You think it speaks enough for itself?
Speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not like
and he was in the
Boston
SEC. This isn't some MAC guy. No disrespect,
yeah.
but
and it's not like Boston where he's literally getting interviewed and he's like, "Yeah, my agent said I shouldn't run."
Why didn't he run?
We'll never.
Boston gets killed. He didn't run a 40.
Yeah,
what's he hiding?
Like, we know why Boston didn't
I want to
run.
know.
but as far as we know, Boston's faster.
I just like to see it. You know, you get these 5'11", under 200-pound guys.
I know.
I don't think he's as good at versus press as Lemon is. I don't think he's got that kind of suddenness off the line. I don't think he's got that kind of explosiveness. But I don't know. And he has a 10% drop rate each of the last 2 years.
Sure.
He has the opposite of late hands. I feel like he's kind of sitting there with his hands out like this, kind of waiting for the ball to get there, and it can slip through his hands. He has some really egregious ones. I don't know. He's got
some plays though where it's like he can play bigger than his size.
He can out in South Carolina, gets up the seam, safety bearing down, makes a catch, safety belts him, he hangs on. He had a couple catches exactly like that for sure.
And I feel like he does a good job of knowing. And maybe this is because he's not having the late hands, but I feel like he always picks the right way to catch a pass sometimes. Where it's like, sometimes I want him to, I'm like, this is one where you should high point, and he does. And this is one where maybe you want to catch it a little more with your body and brace for contact, and he does. I feel like that's one thing he is kind of good at. But I also see what you're saying with the drops. Like that stuff is rough. But maybe I think there's too much projection here, but I think there's a lot to like.
You know, I had him at my 5. I really liked his agility and a lot of the stuff that you've said, Blaiden, but you make a good argument against him Theo, and I agree about the route variety, and the hands are concerning. And you know something else? The numbers against zone for both him and Boston are like very bad in terms of yards per route run. And
I don't know how much I
historically,
buy
that's
in.
been
I don't know how much I buy into that.
Yards per route run versus zone is really translates well.
yeah, that's what scares me about it. And I'm more of a like trust the numbers, at least for receivers guy. I think the numbers are often more right for this position than a lot of others, I would say.
It's interesting. Yards per route run versus zone. I was thinking about that a lot as I was watching these guys, because you watch zone coverage and obviously no one is really guarding you, obviously man to man in zone. And I just feel like it's up to the quarterback. Like you play man against the receivers, you play zone against the quarterbacks. And when you see yards per route run versus zone, it's like it's the quarterback choosing to go to you more than it is.
But I think there's way more nuance to playing the zone yourself as a receiver, you know, flattening something out or stopping or bending something a certain way. It's tough to see, but it absolutely makes a huge difference. And if it was all quarterback, I think you would see it have a very poor correlation to the NFL, right? In terms of like, hey, you know, a lot of the guys who have been low recently have really struggled, even if they were drafted highly. Instead, you see like it's pretty difficult for a lot of those guys to translate into productive wide receivers. I'm not saying it's a death sentence, but it definitely was something like.
I'm agreeing. It's the quarterback. It's the quarterback who kind of has to beat the zone, maybe, but it's the reason he goes to the receiver that he does is because of practice. It's because he knows that he'll be at the right spot at the right time. It's because he knows that he can pierce the defense with some yak. Like,
and I think that would be a fair concern about both Concepcion and Boston is their timing within some of the. It's a lot easier to target somebody, you know, just underneath when they flash open, or you know, I like this matchup, I'm going to throw to Boston, that is to trust them enough to play with timing.
There's a lot of mesh when you watch Concepcion.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
There's a lot of mesh. No, dude, I felt like I'm like, it's either going to be mesh or it's going to be like smash. Like those were the only two plays, I swear.
And mesh is cooked. Mesh is KFC versus zone, bro. Mesh is. But if it's zone and you call mesh, you're cooked like immediately.
But I will
you're like
say,
just running into nothing for no reason.
The thing that's had me questioning this like zone trend that's been talked about a lot recently with receivers, because it's like, oh well, the NFL is like 70% zone.
Yes, there's more zone than man, so it's a better sample size.
You look at the reception perception, and they have some player profiles that you can check out for free. Jamar Chase in 2024 faced 47% man coverage. Justin Jefferson faced 45% man coverage. CeeDee Lamb faced 49% man coverage. And you could even look at like Mike Evans in 2021 faced over 50% man coverage. I don't know if it's necessarily you are going to face 70%.
But is that like consistent across the NFL, or is it just some examples that you?
It's examples. I'm just saying. I just don't.
To me, it just seems like you like Concepcion and then went to find a way to say it's no big deal if he's bad against zone.
Maybe I did do that. Yeah, I could be looking for some confirmation on my bias.
I like them a decent amount too. Don't get me wrong, but I definitely feel like the way this thing is shaping up, I'm having a little bit of trouble finding a wide receiver 5 for the top 5 that I'm 100% confident in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think just, we talk about the high end plays. I feel like Concepcion's high end stuff is really pretty special.
It is.
There's another play against LSU where he's running up the seam and he's open and their quarterback's a nincompoop, like for lack of a better word, and like doesn't throw it, and then he like runs up into the pocket and he finds him late, and I'm thinking this is a pick for sure, and Concepcion just like jumps in front of two defenders, and I'm thinking, dude, just attacking the football at that in that window. You just don't see that many. Like most guys are just going to kind of sit and wait for the ball to reach them, and he really is willing to come back to the football in a way that that really excites me. So I do like the high end outlook for Concepcion, and so he's my 4. He's my 4.
I don't think it's unreasonable.
No, I don't think it's unreasonable at all. But I just think if he's your starter in 11 personnel, I think you're just a little bit outgunned from the start at the NFL level. But I don't know. He's not an animal like Boston. Come on now.
So Matt, you have Concepcion as your 5, but you're potentially second guessing. Theo, who's your 5?
I think it's Omar Cooper, right?
Oh,
I have Boston, Tate,
yeah.
and then Cooper.
Okay. So, and then Cooper's my 5.
Then I kind of like Surratt after that, and then maybe Concepcion. Or something.
I thought you were a big Malachi Fields guy.
I do like Malachi Fields.
He's big as hell.
He is big. Great Senior Bowl that really moved me. Amazing one-handed catch this year versus somebody I don't know, but like diving full extension. He's got some ridiculous plays, but
he's really shot up on the consensus board.
I get it, but again, this is another guy where it's like, I mean, his first few steps are really through mud. No,
yeah, I liked Surratt more from a release standpoint.
This is the thing. All the big guys, almost all of them end up paying the price for being big. That's why I don't think it's some insane advantage. It's like you would rather be tall, but it almost always comes with being slower off the line for at least like 70% of the guys. And they end up being plotters, and you can't ignore that or whatever. But
I am interested in Brazel. I want Brazel from Tennessee. He's somebody that I want to watch a little bit more on.
I feel the same way. He's very gazelle like, he's
6'5",
but he's
6'5", and he doesn't pay the price in a slow way.
No,
he can get separation vertically.
He's super light, right?
Yeah, he is.
So that's where he gets it back. And I feel like sometimes I've used the gazelle term as an insult on here. I mean it positively for him. He's this big, long strider who can eat up space super quickly. But it's tough to trust those Tennessee receivers. With like the offense that they play in and the routes that they run. That doesn't necessarily mean that he can't, go be a good player or whatnot.
Some of his stats are a little bit concerning, like really poor overall contested catch rate in his career, just going back to compare him to the stats we've used for everybody else. But 40% there, 8.2% chop rate, a little bit high, 2.09 career yards per route run. Not great there, but man, like 6'5", really runs fast, open downfield, seems to track the ball decently well, and has some in-breaking like route running potential. So he's somebody that I'm definitely keeping an eye on and want to watch more on the All-22. Just didn't have time to really study him. I got familiar with a lot of these guys.
Got to know their mom.
I got to know their mom.
Went over for dinner.
Like there's some guys kind of deeper down the board that are interesting, and some that I think are not so interesting. I don't think J. Michael Sturdivant is that interesting. I don't think Skylar Bell is that interesting. I don't think Antonio Williams is that interesting.
Chris Bell, I thought, was also very limited route tree. Crazy athlete, though. Some of those slants that he took the house for nuts, and he's got great verticality. I forget who it was against. I think it was against SMU. He had like completely nuts catch where he goes up and gets it.
He's completely sauceless from a route standpoint. Like the releases are just, I'm going to shove you out of the way and go. Like there's no footwork to it, and there's no setup before the break. But that's not always a terrible thing in this. Like the Shanahan offenses, like make your cut, catch, and turn up field. I saw some potential for Bell there because he is a jagged route runner and can pierce the defense after the catch and has a really good silhouette when he catches the ball. I think he's got reliable hands, and he interested me a little bit, but he tore his ACL at the end of last year, and his route running might be a little bit too questionable.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You know, who are you going to ask about?
What about Bryce Lance? Lance
is cool. I mean, Lance is over 3 yards per route run in his career, which is ridiculous. High 60% contested catch rate, like 3.8% drop rate, all these stats that we've been talking about. He's super fast, like super fast.
But he's playing. I thought a lot of his best plays were him like honest to God running by Indiana State corners or whatever.
But I looked it up, like he did. Yeah, I watched a game against Southeast Missouri State. He catches a screen. He gets tripped up at the 35. He hits the 40-yard line. I went into vidtimer.com at the 40-yard line out until the end zone, so 60 yards, 5.98 seconds, which means he was averaging over a 60-yard period 20 and a half miles an hour, and he got tripped up at the 35, which means he peaked like probably north of 21, almost certainly north of 21 miles
but
an
I think you have to do a little bit more in the NFL. Like there's a lot of guys who are fast, and you got to be able to sell it deeper. If it was just as simple as being fast, a lot of dudes to do it, and he's like 25.
Well, the fast 25-year-old. I don't know. I mean, I agree. Like he's outside of being fast. I think, yeah, there's a lot to be desired.
I don't hate him.
He gives away. I mean, he gives away when he's not going vertical in a major way.
That's probably a biggie, though.
He fights the football a little bit. Didn't see a ton of catches over the middle, and I kind of question what his concentration levels will be like if he's got to run slants and digs and things like that are super in vogue right now. So yeah, can he be more than a vertical threat? I don't know, but I think he can get vertical separation kind of
being a big time vertical threat's very valuable in its own right.
Like even Troy Franklin is like a somewhat useful NFL player. I know he just got replaced by Jalen Waddle, but I think he's a somewhat useful NFL player just because he gets open over the top just at will. Just comes down to
gotta catch it though.
How much he can track it and how much Bo can hit him. But I think like third round, I could take Bryce Lance with his production profile, the athletic profile, and the need for speed that we all have, I guess.
Sure.
There's a couple fade ball merchants kind of through this middle part of the draft. Like Ted Hurst is an absolute fade ball merchant. Elijah Surratt is a fade ball merchant. Malachi Fields is kind of that. Bryce Lance is kind of that.
What is the hit rate? Because it's probably not. I mean, obviously it's not like super high, but like there's got to be one.
How many fade ball merchants are there in the NFL right now?
No.
It's tough because it's like it's hard to know of the guys who are currently like these sort of great deep threats or contested catch guys. Like which ones would we have called contested catch or fade ball merchants who we now, because they're good, will be like, well, his game is really much more nuanced than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just comes down to who develops more.
Would it have been DK?
Yeah, DK definitely. Mm-hmm. Christian Watson was absolutely that coming out of NDSU, and he's rounded out his game.
You could argue would have. I mean, Pierce would have been a deep threat guy. I mean, like honestly, I wonder how much of a like contested catch T. Higgins type of guy maybe would have fit into that.
Yeah, that's like Jacoby Lane to me has some intrigue. Is that kind of archetype? But
see, I didn't like T. Higgins when like 15-year-old Blaiden was not a fan.
Yeah, I mean he just had to be the most electric contested catch guy in football. Like he really is crazy at that particular trait. Lane is big enough and high cut enough where I can maybe see that in his future, but he's kind of a one speed there's not a lot of variation in his steps off the line of scrimmage. I think he's a bit heavy-footed, and I thought at the Senior Bowl he was really concerning when guys got physical with him, and he kind of just got thrown around, and I was expecting more from a big guy. But his production profile is pretty good, over 50% first down rate when targeted in his career, which is rare for this class, and his size you can't really ignore, his frame you can't really ignore.
Right.
Skylar Bell has it is okay kind of across the board, but I just don't know if he stands out in any particular area. And
I wasn't hugely high on Skylar Bell.
He wastes a lot of time at the line of scrimmage, and I just don't think he's particularly fast overall. But some nice moments where he did pull away. Maybe I'm underselling him there.
I mean, looking fast against certain people is easier than against Alabama.
Ted Hurst is really explosive and had like a 60% contested catch rate, some really athletic finishes, like really like stunning explosiveness, I thought. But his releases take forever. Like, what are you doing? Like, there's no plan of like setting people. He's just like patting his feet for no reason. It's like, dude, maybe there's something there someday with Ted Hurst, but like at the current moment, probably getting a little bit too much hype. Antonio Williams, kind of a screen merchant, but he's not that good after the catch. I wasn't a fan. Zachariah Branch, really explosive, like really, if you're looking for kind of Tyreek Hill particles.
He was an insanely high recruit, if I remember correctly.
He really is like rocked up body, like can catch it, turn, like burn the whole defense, crazy jukes, things like that. I thought he had a good combine and really helped himself with some of the routes he ran there, but watch him at Georgia and he really is this novelty of like, oh, we'll throw him a screen, but he's kind of indecisive, like patting his feet, trying to make someone miss, and he gets tackled.
And that's one of my least favorite traits for players to have is indecisiveness after the catch.
There's a lot of that with Zachariah Branch, and he's just less than he should be, even though he is like exciting at points. Jeremy Bernard is kind of interesting, I'd say.
I'm kind of getting lower on Bernard. I liked him at first. I kind of think his after the catch stuff develops too slowly. Like if he catches a hitch, it takes him a while to like turn around and get upfield.
Yeah.
That's something that I don't love.
He could be a good kind of in cut and take it type guy. What drove me nuts with him was like the ball kind of has to be just right a lot of time. Like anytime Ty puts it on his back shoulder, like he just didn't make the adjustment. That was kind of the thing that really prevents me from being kind of high on him, is like, man, he needs the ball to be just ever so perfectly right. It might be hard to target him downfield because of that. And like his after the catch stuff it's very good, but is it so great that you're going to try to incorporate him when, I don't know, there's maybe some stiffness in his approach to the ball? I don't know.
Another guy that I kind of liked that didn't have a lot of production necessarily was the Miami guy, CJ Daniels.
Oh, I didn't check him out.
He makes a lot of ridiculous catches, dude. He has a contested catch rate of 64% on 17 targets. So it's 11 contested catches on 17 targets. I mean, he makes some absurd catches. I just saw some on Twitter. I was like, oh, I'm going to go check dude out. He's got some nice movement skills as well. Definitely more of, I would say probably late day 2 guy, but just a guy that I'd be willing to take a shot on because of the kind of really hyper athletic catches. He's like reaching over, catching things on defenders' backs. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's really exciting stuff. So I didn't get to watch a ton of him, but I'm keeping an eye on because he seems exciting.
I had a good time watching Josh Cameron from Baylor. I thought the Baylor receiver duo was kind of exciting. Josh Cameron really physical, like really physical, will run you over, great contact balance after the catch, great playing above the rim, back shoulder catches. He's easy money on those. I thought his route running was inconsistent, like on some of these inbreakers, they're really sluggish and not sharp. But he also has some moments where he runs like more of a comeback or some sort of out, and it looks really good. Like he got Keith Abney, I think, by kind of like looking like he's hinging inside and then kind of getting outside leverage on the guy towards the sideline and not really giving away that that's what he was about to do. So the combination of hands and yak and some of the route running things that he was able to do where it was somewhat impressive to me. And then number two on Baylor as well. What was his name?
Obi Prentice?
No. It was someone different than that. He's like not even on the consensus big board. It's Cole Wilson. He is kind of a demon. Like if you want an undrafted free agent guy that I'm gonna like kind of raise my eyebrow at when he's signed, it's 5'9", 170-pound Cole Wilson. He's fast. He's fast as fuck. And he had some of those, like as a 5'9" guy, 170 is pretty small. So maybe it's just a college defenders thing, but he had some of those like Steve Smithy moments where he like catches it and then like bucks the guy off of him or ducks and they like go over the top of him and he breaks a tackle to go along with some pretty insane speed. So both of the Baylor guys were just like entertaining. I don't know how productive they were because Baylor was kind of a mess this year, but I liked Cole Wilson.
591 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1.71 yards per route run, 35% contested catch.
Yeah, that's
Josh Cameron, 1.7 yards per route run, 872 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 59% contested catch rate.
Yeah, definitely not like elite production or anything from them, but they were just entertained from like bang for your buck entertainment value standpoint. They were like fun watches. You had this really crazy fast guy who could break tackles, and then this big physical guy who could break tackles. Really, they're out there breaking tackles, and I appreciate that about them. Trigg, them and Trigg too. Trigg is kind of an entertaining player too. They just had a bunch of
Trigg super entertaining.
Just a bunch of meanies out there, like just a bunch of bulls in China shops at Baylor.
Bulls in China shops. Oh, yeah. So looking at our consensus for the top 5 wide receivers, assuming, Matt, you're still going Concepcion for your number 5. Number 1 is Lemon. Number 2 is Tyson. Number 3 is Tate. Number 4 is Cooper. And number 5 is Concepcion, which is just basically my list, except Cooper is over Concepcion now. So I'm fine with that, honestly. I think that's a pretty solid top 5. How that compares to the main consensus board, Carnell Tate is the general consensus wide receiver 1. Wow. Lemon is number 2. Tyson's number 3. I imagine because of the injury stuff. People, I think, are just too low on Lemon. I think they're too worried about the slot stuff.
I'm with you.
He might be getting over
a problem. Is
There was a day on Twitter where they were talking about like his foot strike running the 40, and I was like, I don't care.
Watch his foot strike off the line of scrimmage when he runs by your favorite corner, dude.
I didn't think it was that big of a deal. They're like, oh, this is like a slow 4.48 instead of a fast 4.48. It's like, I don't care. I don't.
They're looking at like the interview stuff. They're looking at like he's a slot guy. They're like over analyzing it. It's just like they're overthinking Lemon too much. The media people are.
I don't think you're overthinking it. I just think I don't think you can overthink it. I don't like that word. Like
you don't
you're
like
low on this consensus.
A little over.
You're low on someone who other people like. You're just overthinking.
Sure.
And maybe you are, but you're barking up the wrong tree when you get these things wrong. I don't think you can overthink anything. You want to think about it as much as possible, as much as time affords. Ideally, that's why I'm getting up so early, so I can just think about things.
Theo gets up early. 430. I still can't get over that, dude. It's like I there's this video of the guy who's like, dude, I have 4 days in one day. My first day's from 6 a.m. to noon. My second day's from noon to.
I mean, there just isn't enough time in the day, bro. I gotta get up a little bit earlier. It's like, damn, I gotta run some errands. Like, I had to play soccer today.
What time are you going to bed?
Like 11.
11 to 4:30s.
I'm gonna try to whittle that down though. I'm gonna try to get that down to like 10:30.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant whittle the amount of time you're sleeping.
No,
I'm going to bed.
I'm a very
later.
active, awake person. I do not feel like I suffer from the affliction of tiredness very easily.
I'm super tired. I mean, some of these days I've been sleeping like 3 hours and I can't get back to bed. It's insane. So I've been taking melatonin. It doesn't help. It just makes you have crazy dreams.
Really, I think melatonin works. My life is.
I've never
peaches and
had
cream.
melatonin, so
Okay.
You never had caffeine and you never had melatonin. This guy is just steady Eddie. He doesn't wake up. He doesn't.
I don't wake up. I never go to bed. I'm just awake all the time.
You're just prim and proper over here. Just don't need any assistance except for your ACL medicine.
Yeah, they're gonna have me drugged up, I'm sure.
You're gonna say, I don't need that. I don't have sauce with my wings. I don't have dip with my chips. I don't take melatonin or caffeine.
I will put sauce on my wings.
I just raw dog this life, and I just do the surgery on me, bro. Like
I will put sauce on my wings, but I'm not dipping my wings.
I don't watch new shows. I don't
watch new shows.
Don't have salsa. No.
I'm just going through. I'm ordering the base model life, and that's what I'm. I'm
in Mario Kart. I'm picking Mario.
I do pick Mario. I do pick Mario.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. My favorite number? 1.
No, my favorite number is 10. My favorite number is 10.
10. That's just
1 and 0. What do you mean?
It's just 1.0, and then you took out the dot because the dot is extra.
The dot is too extra.
And we don't do anything extra. We just go through life.
Who do you think I main in Super Smash Brothers?
Fucking
probably
Kirby,
Mario,
bro. Or probably Mario.
It is Kirby. No, it's literally
it is Kirby.
Holy shit.
I know you're spamming down B or whatever. Turn it into a big rock.
I don't know
if you know this, Blaiden, but like Kirby is like the number 1 noob main. Like,
is he? Oh, I just pick him because I think he's cool.
Yeah, everybody who gets into Smash thinks Kirby is cool for like the first few things to begin.
Yeah, that's sort of like a beginner simpleton opinion.
I mean, I haven't played Smash in years, so.
Shout out Ike. Maybe that's number 2. I mean, I'm not good at I'm not that far off from the Kirby strategy, but I'm aware that when I pick Kirby, I know what I am, which is a noob, and I just thought you should be aware too.
Yeah, maybe next time I play Smash, I'll be aware of that.
Yeah, you should still pick him, but he just is that's how I was able to guess Kirby. That's
because I don't play Smash that much.
Exactly. Like if you don't know what someone's main is and they don't play Smash, you should probably guess Kirby.
Yeah, but the other consensus big board guys. So it's Tate, Lemon, Tyson is the top 3 in order. Cooper's number 4. And then Denzel Boston is 5 and Concepcion is 6. So.
Shout out to him.
Shout out. But I think that'll do it for this episode of Stay Hot. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll be back with some more pre-draft analysis here for you very soon. And of course, if you haven't checked out the Stay Hot Patreon, we've got some cool stuff for you there as well. Theo did March Madness, as he mentioned at the top there with our good friend. It was Ben Pfeiffer, right?
That's correct.
Yes, it was Ben Pfeiffer. Shout out.
Some Dabansa analysis, some Peterson analysis, some Boozer.
Did you guys talk about Miami, Ohio?
We did not.
Why?
Because they got dispatched quite easily. We did hype up Vanderbilt, and they lost immediately after we did that. We did hype up High Point, and then they lost.
I picked up High Point to win that first round game.
I picked them to go to the Elite 8, so I was cooked. I was excited about most of the way through the Arkansas game. Arkansas was tough, bro. They had that one guy, number 24. He was getting clutch stop after clutch stop, and then he didn't like celebrate. He just like stood there. He was nonchalant about it. He's like, damn, he's tough.
Cold. But as always, from your favorite fellas here at Stay Hot, we will catch you on the flippity flop.